Good morning, people, and welcome to My Left Ear. It is Sunday, April 3rd, and I am Carrie Freeman. I'm the writer, producer, director of My Left Ear, and this YouTube channel is called My Left Ear because I get a lot of intuition and messages through my left ear, and I share with you. I also do the runes, ask specific questions. This is video 85. And when I'm not doing this YouTube channel, I write and I do private sessions for people with hypnotherapy and psychic coaching. And there's all kinds of information and links in the description. If you want to just click on what is therapeutic hypnosis, it's right there. If you want to click on what is psychic coaching, it's right there, all below. And my email. So welcome. This is for entertainment purposes only. We do political commentary and psychic impulses, intuitions here. And it is for entertainment purposes only. Once again, thank you for the book orders. I sent a bunch of books out on Friday. They're arriving much faster than I thought they would, so that's good. And I know that because people said, I just got your book and I started it. So thank you. I mail them out on Fridays and Tuesdays. And there's more to be mailed out this Tuesday. So thank you. And I've gotten some great responses on it too. Now, here we go. Vladimir Putin. There's been people on the news, pundits, talking about how he doesn't know that his troops are floundering, that nobody gives him the right answers because they're afraid of him, et cetera, et cetera. And you know what? That's entirely possible. I don't think that's what's going on, though. And I did do the runes on it. I think Putin knows. And I think that's one of the reasons this is so vicious, and it's going after innocent citizens, women, children, and it is getting worse. You know, about 3 weeks ago, I remember watching some of these news shows and hearing experts like Michael McFaul and the generals say it's going to get worse. And they, from experience, were so correct. This week was brutal. So my answer is, I think Putin knows what's going on. That doesn't mean he doesn't imprison somebody that he doesn't like what they tell him, et cetera, et cetera. People talk about the history of autocrats, that they make this mistake where their aides, their staff, then are afraid to give them bad news. Like, this isn't working, sir. We're going to lose here, sir, because they could get poisoned, jailed, pushed out of a window. But, and it is true, I imagine his advisors are terrified of him. But he knows what's going on. So I did throw one rune on Vlad, and it was the rune of defense. And that's the ability to foresee consequences. And in foreseeing these consequences, expect inconvenience and discomfort. He knows what's going on. The thing about this war, for lack of a better word, because one, it's an invasion and a decimation and a genocide. War is just shorthand word for it. It is confusing because the pictures we see look like Ukraine is completely decimated. And yet the news reports talk about how the Russian army is weakened. And I find it a little confusing to wade through what's the truth here, because it doesn't look good. And with the private citizens and women getting taken out, attacked, brutalized, it's a tough one, and it's hard to know exactly what the truth is. But we do know that the Ukrainian people are not giving up, and they are begging for more support. We just have to keep sending this white light and hope and pray that there is some immediate resolution of some kind, because it is so tragic. There's been a lot about Ginni Thomas in the news, and Clarence Thomas, the Chief Justice, because more texts came out, more information. We found out that Ginni Thomas used to just like drop into the White House and visit Trump and bring him lists of people who he should fire and who he should hire. That is, the wife of Chief Justice Clarence Thomas would show up and visit with Trump and give him lists. And then in the meantime, Clarence has been pushing a partisan agenda. And up until now, he's managed to keep it on the down low. But now we know what's on the down low. Did runes on them because they're a pretty interesting duo right now. With Ginni Thomas, I asked the runes, will she end up in prison? So it was interesting. It's a lot of these readings start out with the first rune, you think, uh-oh, and then by the last rune in the series, it's, oh. So the first rune that I got with Ginni Thomas ending up in prison is partnership. And it says some form of partnership is at hand, or a gift. The runes call it the gift of freedom. I call it help from the right. And I call it, will it be freedom if she flips to save her behind. I was gonna swear, but I'm not gonna swear. So the partnership is that some people are gonna come forward to support her and all of that. It's a little confusing. But then I got warrior energy. And this is just so interesting. The warrior energy indicates that the war is between the self and the self. So very much a war internally with her. It cautions Ginni to stay out of her own way. It advises Ginni to look deep within now. This rune asks her to do a big soul search. Although my left ear and I do not believe she's capable of a soul search, or she wouldn't have gotten involved with the coup. She would have had the common sense and she would have known better. But she is a very suggestible person. We know now that she was in a very famous self-improvement called Lifespring. I know it was out in California, and a friend of mine, I was never attracted to these groups, but I knew a lot of people that were and joined them. A friend of mine went and checked out Lifespring and actually had a trauma. So Ginni Thomas was very involved in Lifespring for a long time. And now she's involved really in another coup. And I think there's just hidden damage and secrets inside of her as a human being. Because to get into two different cults, you have to be what we call in hypnosis suggestible. And she is very this is my left ear and my opinion, that she is very suggestible to being, mattering. She needs to matter. She needs to be at the center. And it's very obvious. She needs to be a player. She needs to be important. And she has for a long time. And that's what makes her suggestible. And my print just blew up like it always does when we're talking, you and I. So here's the last rune for Ginni. And it's profound because when I read, the last time I read some runes on her. I got this rune twice. And now I've got it again. In fact, today it's showing up quite a bit. It's the rune called Stand Still. You know what? I always tell you about it. I'm going to grab my bag of runes and see if I can find it while I'm talking to you. I apologize. I'm going to disappear and come right back. Grabbing the runes. I'm forgetful. I meant to put them out so I could show them to you, but I'm going to see if I can find, it's going to make a little noise. Because the stand still is sort of chilling. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It'll probably be the last one I turn over. Well, now I can't find it. Oh, there's more. There it is. There it is. All right. So I just wanted to show this to you. That is the rune called Stand Still. And it's chilling. Ginny, like I said, Ginny received this the other day. It does not bode well for anybody that gets this. It's the rune that impedes. It's energy that impedes, and that there are no positive outcomes or accomplishments. So that's sort of the end result of her. And of course, nothing literal comes up about prison, but I think she's really going to end up alone, and singular and by herself. And Stand Still always says, the spiritual winter is upon you. And that would be true of Ginni Thomas. It hasn't even begun yet. She's just in a whole bunch of, and you know, even if the January 6th committee does not call her to speak with her, she's still in a hole, in a pickle, as we say, a legal pickle, and we just watch and wait. So there you go. Now, I did runes on Clarence. Will Clarence resign or be forced out of SCOTUS? And I tell you what, I got 2 runes that were identical. You see that? Well, that's reversed, and that is the rune of movement, but it is reversed, people. That which is blocked. And it says, make sure that what you're doing is timely. That's to Mr. Clarence Thomas, Justice Thomas. Not all possibilities are open to him. Then I picked the second rune, and I got it again. So I got the rune of movement in reverse, twice for Clarence Thomas. It's very significant. This couple is in trouble. Even though there aren't clear-cut rules of what to do with a Supreme Court justice, they're very protected. Nobody's put, you know, he's supposed to recuse, but there actually aren't any real, there's nothing in place. Even so, Clarence is in trouble. His whole presence has sullied the Supreme Court. It's going to be a slow process, by the way. Oh, you know what? Then I did pick a third one. Sorry, I did. And I got another rune. Clarence Thomas got 3 runes in the reversed position. That just gives you the energy there. Now, he got that rune, but it's reversed. And that rune, upright, is joy, but it's reversed. And it says there's a crisis at hand. There's a slow passage, what I just said. And there are questions about virtue, serious intent, and sincerity. And I think he's a very dishonest guy, personally, my lived ear. So not looking good, but it could take some time. And I just want to say, you know, like, what an ugly couple. That's all I want to say. So the kind of big news this week, breakthrough news, was in regard to the DOJ. We've been waiting, and I've done lots of runes on Garland. And as I've told you, I really haven't gotten negative runes on Merrick Garland. It's all the runes that I've gotten in the past, and I have them in the computer, are about slow, stealth, waiting, he's going to show up. Well, he did. Okay. So we just found out that the DOJ has been working for months with no leaks. And they have a grand jury forming for Trump's inner circle. So they're getting to the planners, the big guys, okay? And subpoenas have gone out to Trump's supporters, his inner circle. We don't have those names yet. The DOJ hired hundreds in extra staff and attorneys, and it means indictments are coming. We just don't have the names yet, but we will. So even with the doubts and fears, the Runes have been pretty consistent about Merrick Garland, even though we've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and what's he doing, and when's it going to show up? Well, now, and what's really special about this is that the DOJ didn't just convene the grand jury. They've been working on this for months without any of us knowing about it. That's the good news. It means there's more stuff going on that we don't know about yet. So this had very good implications for this thing moving forward. And you know, out of the blue, I was sitting over in my dining room doing the runes, and out of the blue, my left ear said, ask about something happening to Trump or surrounding Trump that's like a surprise or shocking. Okay. So, this is significant, guys. Where is it? Just had it here. There it is. I pulled Stand Still again. You know, it's not good. The winter of his spiritual life is upon him, because this rune was about, but look at, I pulled this and I got it about Justice Thomas. I got it about Rudy Giuliani about 3 weeks ago. And now I'm getting it about Donald Trump. No positive accomplishments for Donald Trump. And he's trying to hold on, which can create more loss. So at some point, that winter of his spiritual life will be upon him. It's very, very close. And coincidentally, his son-in-law, Jared, went in and spoke to the January 6th committee on his own for 7 hours. He chatted with them for 7 hours. And the reports are that he was very pleasant, relaxed, forthcoming. He did most of the talking, even though he was there with his attorney, but he did most of the talking. Oh, wouldn't we love to have been a fly on the wall of that conversation? 7-hour conversation. So it also tells me that at the end of the day, Jared and Ivanka are going to take care of their little family unit, and they're not going to sacrifice themselves for daddy. And you know, with the way Jared showed up, and I'm no fan of his, it's like, how do I put this? It's just ready and helpful, and he's not going, oh, I know what I was going to say. They don't like him. His son-in-law may have worked in the White House, doesn't like him. His son-in-law thinks he's just a fool. And that is so clear to me in my left ear. So that's just what I want to say. And then we're waiting on more information about Alvin Bragg in New York, SDNY. People are still up in arms because he ended the criminal investigation into Donald Trump. 2 amazing attorneys quit, wrote a long letter saying this was ready to go, we had everything in place, and they quit in protest because Bragg shut it down. So everybody has, feelings about it. I think he's got some secrets, and I think somebody got to brag, Alvin brag. And we'll find out, because it's very difficult to keep secrets these days. And anybody who thinks they can is just foolish, foolish. So that's that. I didn't really look in my book to track evidence this week, but I did have this one little tiny thing that I thought, oh, well, I'll just mention, because it was like so little. But I went to my Italian deli. I've spoken to you about my Italian deli in Burbank. One of the subscribers knows that Italian deli. He or she is in Burbank. They make incredible sourdough loaves daily, and I go there about once a week to get. So the last loaf I got really was terrible. I wasn't even sure if it was sourdough. I'd never gotten a bad loaf. Ate some of it, threw it away. Went back yesterday to get a loaf. And I just was casually telling, they know me now, the lady who likes the bread. I was just casually, I said, I got the weirdest sourdough last week. I don't even know if it was sourdough. It wasn't good. It was kind of brown inside. It was not soft. It was very conversational. I wasn't complaining. I like those people there. They're great. But they charged me half. The guy who sliced my bread said, I'm going to go back and see if they'll give you one for free. But what they came at was just pay half. And I was more than happy, because I wasn't asking for my money back. I wasn't asking to get something free. But they charged me half, which I just thought was sweet. It was one of those tiny little pieces of nice evidence sharing with you. And I wasn't complaining. So, it was just human kindness. So now we're going to get to our quotes, my friends. And I want to mention something. I am working with Patrick, my YouTube mentor, and he's gonna get me up and running to do live, where you're gonna get to ask me questions. Oh my God, scary. But so that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. Quotes on hope, because we need some hope. And I just want to say this. I'm going to talk in code. I've been talking a little bit in code. There are things that are being reported on the news that I can't bring myself to discuss on this YouTube channel. All you have to do is look at MSNBC or the news and hear details. And it's very, I don't even have a word for it, but it's horrific. And it is war crimes, and it is genocide, and it has to do with torture. So I just have this, and I don't want to go into it. So educate yourselves if you have the stomach for it. But it's, I'm the talker, and I don't have a lot of words for my sorrow. Quotes on hope. All right, this is Albert Einstein. He said, learn from yesterday, live for today, and hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning. I agree. Do not stop questioning. And I'm going to add, do not stop being curious, because I have an issue about curiosity seems to be going away. People don't seem to be that curious about other people, asking questions, leading questions. All right, the next quote is Martin Luther. Everything that is done in the world is done by hope. So I think the Ukrainian people are doing what they're doing with hope, but with extraordinary determination, grit, and even anger, which can be a very positive force. And then this amused me, this last one. It says, if you're reading this, congratulations, you're alive. If that's not something to smile about, then I don't know what is. And the person who wrote this, his name is Chad Sugg, S-U-G-G. And he wrote, I think, a book called Monsters Under Your Head. So if you're reading this, congratulations, you're alive. So go out and live today. Make a contribution, smile at someone. So that's what I want to say. I'll be back. We're preparing a live show. Makes me a little nervous. And lastly, make peace, make memories. Petey is here, and he's having a wonderful nap on the sofa. And one of these days, I'll just scoop him up and I'll show him to you, but I kind of don't want to disturb him right now. But he continues to be Petey. He's a character. All right, you go out, live life, make it a good day, and hold the good thought. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.